All right. I know, right? We're just jumping on here live. A little technical difficulties. Verizon is going to hear about it. Keep cutting us off. Uh, but again, thank you, Scott, for trying to clue us in here. What's going on? But we are going to give you a couple minutes of wrestling talk. Uh, so this is the LDM Radio Sports Talk. I'm Charles Aloma.
I'm Will D. Rising like our bad.
Yeah, now I'm getting all the signals, alarms coming on and all this stuff. Come on now. But anyway, uh, for you guys that are seeing my last wrestling talk, I did good. I only missed one.
Which one did you miss?
The Bobby. I mean, not the Bobby. Brock Lesnar.
That
I thought it
was
was gonna go a little bit different, but the rest, hey, congratulations to me. I got every single
That-
one pointed.
that was
That was a
such
twist.
a waste.
Yeah, it was a waste, but a lot of the gimmicks because remember these two guys cannot go on for that long.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I
So
get
that's
it.
why they had to throw a lot of gimmicks in
But
there
but
so
even
they can
still,
rest.
I wish that would have been, even if it meant that Reigns would have to fight him again in the week, like on Raw, and win back the title, but he'll lose it for like a bit to cut the streak, right? Like that would have been the night for Lesnar to be champion for the night. I wanted Lesnar to win it. I like Roman Reigns. Don't get me wrong, but I just want, like, if Lesnar can't do it, and everybody's making fun of the fact that, oh, this is like Lesnar's. How many times is he gonna fight for the championship out of nowhere, especially against Roman?
Right.
Well, the next person up is McIntyre. How many times is McIntyre gonna do the same damn thing?
Yeah. And then he's been doing it since the 80s. Yeah, so I don't know, but like I predicted, I thought it was going to be Roman losing his belt. But Brock Lesnar so beat up that here it comes, and Money in the Bank and takes the belt.
Well,
That's what I
I'm
thought it was going to happen.
So glad that
Yeah.
that didn't happen. It almost happened.
Yeah.
So glad.
Well, that was the good twist.
That-
Because even I said, I knew it.
that
And then all of a
was just
sudden,
that was just a twist to let you know Vince was out the door.
yeah.
That's what that was.
Because if Vince was still there,
Mm-hmm.
he would have had the belt. He would have had the belt right
He
now.
would have had it and lost it on Monday.
Yep, he would have had the belt. But since that was Vince's last hurrah, but I guess they told him you cannot do anything with the championship.
All right.
Theory didn't win the belt. But
Thank
so
God. I hope he's like the first person to really cash out.
Scott just texted me, "Hey, we're not live. I've been yapping for 10 minutes."
Hey.
Sorry about that, Scott. Maybe give him a call here, see if we can get him on the line here. But it's been incredible. The states that we gone. Hey, Scott. Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, we went offline and we didn't even know. We were waiting for you to tell us to come on, but we're live right now. But before we start the wrestling talk, I know you didn't get into the Mets. What's your theory about the Mets right now and the Yankees, who are doing a hell of a good job so far?
Well, it was actually just, I mean, it would have been more fun with Alfonso here because it was actually going to be a little trash talking to the Yankees, but just a little bit. I don't want to keep it objective. I mean, the Mets are 16-2 in their last 18, and they have went from a 1.5 game lead in their division up to 7 games. They've actually surpassed the Yankees for the better record. They were looking at a graphic here. They were on July 8th. The Yankees were 61-23, and the Mets were 52-32. So the Yankees and I'm well aware that they're not in the same league. It's not really an issue. It's just a bragging rights thing. But the Yankees had a 9-game lead over the Mets, and now 1 month and 2 days later, the Mets have a 2-game lead over the Yankees, and that's a combination of the Mets going on an absolute tear and the Yankees going through a bit of a rough patch. But all smack talking aside, just about the Mets, they got Jacob deGrom back, and after an elbow surgery, an arm surgery, I believe it was the Tommy John. Then he had a setback, and he was delayed even more. So people were starting to throw in the towel on him for the year. He comes back. First game, throws, I believe, 5 innings, was absolutely fantastic. Just got no run support. He got a no decision, I believe, and ended up losing the game. And then in the second game, his second start against the Reds the other night. He has a perfect game going into the fifth and finishes with, I don't have it in front of me, but something like 12 Ks in 6 innings, something ridiculous. And the Mets finally gave him the run support, and he actually got the win. So he was a big question mark, and he's been absolutely lights out. Every bit his two-time Cy Young caliber, combined with Max Scherzer. Now the Mets are really a force to be reckoned with. It's 73-39, second best record in all of baseball, behind only the Dodgers, who have won 10 in a row. So they're not going to they're not making up any ground on the Dodgers, unfortunately. But the Mets have something serious brewing here, and we've been hearing all year from Yankee fans that first half of the season that they had, it was World Series or bust. And we're now starting to hear that.
Man.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at it, New York is just in general having a good baseball year.
No, but it's a history. Yankees always go up, and then when it gets close to the ship, that's when they fail. It's been
That's
like
the Mets storyline. What are you
no,
talking
the Yankees
about?
been like that for a couple years already. This is a history.
All I know is
Now look, the Yankees are going through a rough patch. It's a 162-game season. Even your best teams are going to go through a rough patch. The Mets went through a rough patch about a month ago when their division lead went from double-digit, I think, 10 games down to a game and a half. They turned it around. I have no doubt the Yankees are going to turn it around.
they're
still
back,
50
they're
games
back up
left.
to a division lead of like 11 games.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Their division lead is not going anywhere, and that's I think it went from like 14 to 10 because they pulled off, but so has the rest of the division. Yeah, no, they're going to win the division. That's guaranteed.
Both teams are ahead by a landslide. Their rival teams are, towards the bottom of their divisions, and it's looking like we're going to both be postseason teams. So the question, I think, as we get closer and closer to October is 6 weeks away. We're going to be starting playoff season soon. Do you think that there's a legitimate chance at another repeat of 2000 in the Subway Series World Series?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Mets were the question mark. The Yankees were never a question mark. I think they have the pitching. I think the Mets definitely have the better 1 and 2 starters. I mean, they have the best 1 and 2 starter combo in the league. I think the Yankees pitching is good enough. Something that I brought up to Fonz a couple times on this show is the Yankees are crush the ball. Pretty much everybody on that lineup, top to bottom, can hit home runs. They do hit a lot of home runs, but they're not as great as manufacturing runs, playing that small ball. That was their downfall in 2018 when the Red Sox knocked them out. So I had asked Alfonso, are you concerned about that? Because it's not a home run derby once you get to the playoffs, and you're only facing the best pitching that teams have to offer. The best pitching on the teams is when you're playing. Are you worried about the Yankees' inability to manufacture runs versus the long ball? And he actually said yes. Now, and that doesn't make them less of a contender. Of course, they are certainly a World Series contender. Yeah. So I have the short answer to your question is I absolutely could see it in the Yankees World Series, no doubt.
Well, the thing about that is, although it is a concern as a Yankee fan, you're looking at only about maybe 3 to 4 other teams with records similar to them. I'd say maybe out of both the American and National League, you got 4 teams that could possibly challenge them in pitching when you get there. From what the record shows right now, they've been hitting well enough against these teams without having small ball hitting. I think they have enough to at least get them to the World Series. If they play the Mets, do you think that they could beat them, or are you gonna be the Mets fan who's just like, no, we're winning this?
Of course they could beat them.
I'll take the Mets.
I'm a realist. First of all, I've been a Mets fan since 1985. I believe is when my mom took me my first opening day when I was 9. So in that time, I've seen 1 World Series win. So believe me, I am not even close to an overconfident Mets fan because I've seen some great teams not winning.
As a Knicks
fan,
of
course. And case in point, 2000. I think the Mets were the better team in 2000. I really do. Just go their way. So anything can happen. We've seen. I mean, look at switching sports for a second, but look at the New York Giants. New York Giants had no business winning either of those last 2 Super
That is
Bowls
so true.
that they won. So, they should have been just happy to be there. The Patriots, 18-0, should have blown through them. The Giants won that. Rematch 4 years later, the Patriots pissed off. Easily should have won that and didn't. So anybody can beat anybody on any given day, especially in the playoffs. So, no, I'm a realistic Mets fan, absolutely, especially after 2000, when I do believe the Mets were the better team, but lost in 5 games. So, yeah, the Subway Series would be anybody's series, no doubt. I think you can go up and down the lineup and say advantage this team and this, advantage that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when, until they throw the first pitch. So, the Mets, if there's a Mets weakness, it's going to be the middle relief. Edwin Diaz, phenomenal closer. Like I said, we got DeGrom and Scherzer, a phenomenal 1-2 punch. Mets middle relief always leaves something to be desired. I like our offensive capabilities, but I've been a Mets fan way too long to say that this can't be beaten by anybody who wants the playoffs.
Fair enough.
All right, that was fair enough. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was Scott. You can check him out every Thursday. Him and Alfonso, they talk about hockey, baseball, basketball. But the LDM Radio Sports Talk is going to be extended, so we're going to be talking about a lot of sports. So, again, Scott, thank you from Pennsylvania. He's bringing you some theories of what can happen. So, either a Mets fan or Yankee fan. Let's see who.
Let's just hope that New York takes it from everybody, and then we'll play each other like it should be.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Scott.
I tell you what, it would be great for the city and great for the league, but I can't go through losing another World Series to the Yankees. I don't want to go through losing another World Series at all. I can't go through losing another World Series to the Yankees. I just can't.
All right. Well, while Scott is getting therapy for not losing another wrestling, another World Series, we're going to jump into some wrestling talk. Again, thank you, Scott. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
All right.
All right.
So again, that was Scott. He's in PA. He's part of the one of the anchors of LDM Radio Sports Talk. But let's get some wrestling. Like we were saying, Theory. Now, what is going to happen with Theory? Since Theory is McMahon's boy
So
and not Triple H's.
For those who may have missed since the last talk, Triple H is now the chairman of the WWE, replacing Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of talk about what WWE is going to turn into under his leadership. We saw what he could do as a leader of a program at NXT. A lot of the NXT guys left because he wasn't running the show anymore. And now that he is, some of them are looking to come back. One of the people who benefited, though, from his leaving was Austin Theory, who now just goes by Theory. I don't like that at all. And he became Money in the Bank winner. Was, looking like a real contender for the championship with, his sneaky tactics. Because, to be honest with you, he reminds me of a less fan-appealing Ziggler. Right? In his wrestling style and also in the way he maneuvers. Again, Dolph Ziggler is a different breed. But Austin Theory is a solid wrestler. I thought on NXT on 205 he had solid storylines, a good skill set. But I don't see him having an actual win as champion. I can see him possibly winning the champion one night at a pay-per-view and then losing it the very next night.
Right.
Or even one of those runs where he wins it, he runs from the rematch, and then they schedule him for a rematch at a pay-per-view. I don't see Triple H, and the thing about it is Triple H is willing to give a lot of young talent or not popularized talent.
Yeah, but
opportunities, but
his ego, and his ego is going to kick in. No, you're Vince's boy.
I don't see Triple H even doing that because remember, Austin Theory started out under Triple H in NXT, so he's one of his guys initially, right? It's not. This isn't someone that picked and bred and whatever. This is one of the guys that he liked. He liked whatchamacallit, Drew McIntyre, right? Is an original Vince pick back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And Triple H fought to bring him back because he saw what he was doing in TNA.
A potential.
Triple H is someone who doesn't hold stuff personally if he honestly believes they have the talent. So I don't think that it's going to be him thinking that the talent is what's missing. It's just that how he's been managed since leaving NXT. And even in NXT, Theory never grew the audience. Vince wants certain people because he likes their look, he likes their swag. It goes to stuff that old school wrestling needed and wanted.
Yeah.
Triple H
Let-
loves
We're
talent
gonna
and audience appeal.
we're gonna see because now Bailey's back as well.
Right, which
But
was
Bailey,
big.
but Bailey's not fighting. That's why they bring these two girls to
With,
help.
Kyrie
Kyrie and
But
my girl.
it still doesn't matter. You bringing her back opens up so many doors because if
They
she-
needed her back. They needed a mouth.
if she wants to wrestle, she can wrestle,
Mm-hmm.
right? If she doesn't, you have someone who built up an entire career worth in but so many years, right? Especially amongst your own audience. She had appeal in other organizations,
Yeah.
right? It's just a good piece to have in your pocket.
She definitely needed to come back because if you notice, all the female wrestlers are good wrestlers, but they don't have a mouth.
Yeah, a lot
None
of
of them.
A
None.
lot of them can't trash talk.
They
Except-
can't.
No, whatchamacallit?
Not even EST. She's not the best of talking. It's
She's
like
not the best, but she's
that's
good
why she
enough.
does one or two words here, because she can't. So Bailey needed to be there because she's the.
I can't say that about her because she built up an entire catchphrase from NXT, and you saw its development with the whole EST.
Oh no, yeah, she's getting. I'm talking about, but she's not as good as because you're not gonna remember her for the trash talking.
No, you're
Bailey, you will remember. The Rock, you will remember. These type of people you will remember for their.
Bailey is your modern day Chris Jericho as
Right.
far as the females go.
Right.
I'll give you that.
So that's why I think they needed something like
Yeah.
that to pump the women's thing.
they
And
don't
then
have an
remember,
MC.
Stephanie is taking over the women's now.
As she
You know
should
what
have
I'm
been.
saying?
She should have been years ago.
So she's taking over the women, so she's gonna bring it back to where it was before she left, because it was doing good. Every female was fighting. One wrestler wasn't having the belt for too long, and then all of a sudden she left. Kept giving the belt to Flair. Kept giving the belt to Flair. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
like
here's the thing about Charlotte Flair, because we were speaking about the MC. She may not be the most humorous, but she definitely has presence on the mic.
oh yeah,
And when you
Charlotte. Ooh,
you have someone with the mic presence, someone with the legacy, someone with the physical capability. Like, for me, I'm not the hugest Charlotte fan because I do think that she's stiff in ring sometimes. And that, I mean, she got better over the years, but I still find her stiff. The thing about it, though, is she has strong finishers. She
Very
actually
strong.
she has the physique of someone where you can believe she can take a hit and eat it.
how many females do a moonsault from the top rope to the outside of the
You
ring?
see what I'm saying? So,
Yeah,
to
so-
keep giving her the title, I don't think is just because her last name is Flair. I think
I think the last name is what hurted her.
Honestly, I think it's what helped her.
No, I'm saying like hurted her with the fans,
Audience,
thinking
yeah.
that she's
So, like,
only
yeah.
getting the belt
No,
because
if
of it.
If her last name were anything else, I think you would have to respect her as a competitor. I think she's proven herself as a competitor in ring. Should she be a 9, 10-time champion? Probably not. But if she has 9 or 10 championships, she probably should have had 4 or 5 of them. And the reason she got other ones is because at a certain point in time, the women's division held but so many women worth being champion. Not to say they held but so many women, but worth being champion.
Champions.
That's very important. You can't give that belt to anybody. And that's not just talking the women's title. That's talking any of the titles, right? It's why someone like Cesaro, it made sense that he went somewhere else because you're talking about a guy who deserved the championship, but that's against how many other faces that do and how
Right.
many faces that the heads of the company turn to.
Yeah, and a lot of them had to go somewhere because
Yeah.
they've been in WWE so long that they pushed them to the back. It's kind of hard to go forward now.
It is.
You
It
know,
is.
so
I mean-
shout outs to Cesaro for winning the championship
You deserve
over
it.
the time.
You deserve that championship, but it should have been a WWE one.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, it
he
really
even
should
said
have.
it. He said it, on one of the interviews, and then also a couple other rumors were Steph Rollins was saying it would have been nice to have their crew back for one more fight, but it would never happen because they all in different levels now. So he said, if you bring the Shield back, you're bringing 3 egos.
So here's the thing about the Shield coming back. Like he's saying, you're dealing with 3 world-class, individual championized wrestlers, right? And I know I just made up a word. I don't care.
I was
My
like,
name
wait a
is- my
minute.
name
Let me
is Will.
Google that.
My
Let me
name
Google
is
that.
Will. Like Shakespeare, I do this. But the whole thing about it is that if you wanted to bring the Shield back together, the fact that there's a member not in WWE
Right.
would actually help. If Rollins got a title on Raw, They split this undisputed nonsense, but you get Rollins with the title on Raw, Roman's the championship on SmackDown, and then you have a guy who's threatening over at what was it, TNA and all that, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's 3 different champions, 3 different names, titles. The fact of the matter is, this is the opportunity now for WWE to work with the other conglomerates
Yeah.
on a special. Not necessarily saying they need to merge titles and
No.
but
Yeah.
in one special.
Just like ECW did with Impact, and then did with
you see
with
what I'm
the.
saying? What they need to do is use that as an opportunity to build up somebody who's threatening perhaps another former WWE wrestler, his title at the other show,
Yeah.
right? They're jumping him. But now the other 2 champions are just like, you're not going to mess with my brother. And at this event, the Shield for one final night versus these guys.
Right.
You can use it as that. You can use it as an opportunity now that Triple H is there to bring back your lost brother from another.
Right.
You know
And if that would happen in the middle of the ring, they need to stop.
Right.
And
acknowledge it.
And acknowledge
it like you do Reigns.
Yeah,
right?
they're gonna be like, wait a minute, but this is my boy in SmackDown. Reigns is like, this is my boy in Raw. And then here comes what's his name now? I was gonna just call him his old name.
I forget what he goes by.
Yeah, but he's like ECW. And then they just look at each other like, oh no, they're gonna turn on each other. And then for that one moment, they were like, yeah, but we the Shield. Bow, bow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Stuff like that. Writers, again, we're giving you pointers. Now that Triple H is there, he might come back to the old school. So hopefully.
A lot of what Chris Jericho was talking about, even with the return of Cody Rhodes, a lot of these wrestlers coming back, it builds a bridge from wrestlers who, everybody who had time in wrestling in the last 40 years has been a fan of WWE,
Mm-hmm.
right? What they weren't a fan of wasn't the brand. It wasn't the wrestlers in a lot of cases, not all cases.
Right,
in a lot
right.
of cases. It was management. It's behind the scenes nonsense. And with somebody in charge that every wrestler, regardless of who they are, what league they're in, big or small, respects, is now someone who did it is now doing it at that level. Hopefully, for the sake of wrestling overall, this is something that in the 90s when I was growing up, it was the biggest thing in the world. It was almost as big as the Super Bowl, right? And now you don't hear a lot of fans about it because they found out about the artistry of it.
Right. Not only that, to me, when I was watching it, it was the stories.
Yeah.
You used to go to your friend. Oh, did you see the Undertaker's brother? He has a brother. Came out.
Right.
You don't got stories like that. Now it's you seeing Theory fighting this guy? That's it.
The internet has kind of killed a lot of the appeal that made wrestling bigger than what it was. But for what it is it's exactly as they put it, sports entertainment. It is what I like to tell people when they're like, you watch that. I'm like, I tell them it's the greatest soap opera on TV.
Yeah, it is.
This is the opportunity for people to utilize the fact that you have this massive brand historically with a growing massive brand in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're not going to just have the wrestling audience, but people who used to be fans and a lot of
Yep.
all
And now it's all
again.
Yeah, and now it's even going to get crazier because now people want to know, what is Triple H going to do?
Right.
Is he going to fail? Is he going to?
He has him taking up the mantle of chairman changes the whole game for both major companies.
Said the game.
Exactly, right? But that's what he is, right? He is the game, and in this case, he truly is. He can change this because in recent years, wrestling grew on its international appeal.
Yeah.
And in fact, part of what makes AEW great is that it picked up Impact, and Impact was forming a global market, right? In recent years, WWE, seeing what Impact was doing, has been trying to grow their global market. This is an opportunity now to expand wrestling to what it once was. And I hope Triple H makes the moves.
And quickly.
Exactly, to do it.
So,
and the wrestlers from AEW have said, we have nothing against WWE, right? As far as it being
especially Chris Jericho.
Yeah, who was literally, him and Cody Rhodes
May
put this together.
You got Cody Rhodes back on WWE, and Chris Jericho still talks about WWE in AEW.
And in a positive light sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an opportunity for them to do the collaboration that Jericho was hoping for.
Mm-hmm.
A wrestlers having a wrestling league the same way that we were talking hockey earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about wanting a hockey player owned league. So you got wrestlers actually doing it with the traditional company that has always been. If they find a way to collaborate, even if it's a few random nights, I think that they can make this work. The same way they wanted to do NXT versus this, do WWE versus AEW 4 times a year, and you change the entire world of wrestling too easy.
Yeah. But guys, that was our little wrestling talk here. Stay tuned. Remember to like the LDM Radio Sports Talk on LDM Radio on Facebook and Instagram. Check them out every Thursday until we, figure everything out, and then they're going to be every week.
And for those of you who are interested, if you are a real sports fan, we are looking for more people who specialize in specific sports. So feel free to message us at info@lalomainc.com or on the social media pages that are all LDM Radio, LDM Network, or LDM Sports Talk.
Yep.
And we will talk to you about an opportunity being a host for us on this show.
Yep. Again, I'll see you. Well, I won't see you next week because next week is baseball.
We'll see you.
Yeah.
We won't be
yeah. But I'll see y'all. Have fun and keep the sports going.